Assalamualaikum, welcome to Matlab Learning. My name is Fawad. The video is about the basics of Matlab. It is going to be a series of different videos on Matlab Learning. It will start with the basic. Well, first thing, what is Matlab? It's a high-level computer language like other languages, C, C++, Fortran, Java, and few more. In which field do we have to use Matlab? In the field of physics, computer, mathematics, and robotics. Well, if you belong to these fields, you are more likely to use Matlab. What is the purpose of using Matlab? Well, if you want to do data analysis, you want mathematical calculation from basics to advanced level, and visualization. That is what my personal favorite, because in college level we are concerned with how to solve problems, how to solve equations. We don't know how exactly they look like. So if you want to visualize them, you need to use Matlab. We can also develop a problem solving technique with the help of Matlab. So we can solve different problems by first defining a generalized technique. So let's start without wasting any time. This is the layout of Matlab. When you first install Matlab, this is what you're going to face. You can see this is a command window. If you click here, another window opens. That is the editor window. This is the command window. This is the editor window, and this is the current folder where exactly your current program is executing, and this is the workspace. What is workspace? Actually, when you define a variable, let's say a equals 4, hit enter. So you have defined a variable a that is equals to 4. This value of a is stored in your workspace. If you wanted to import it or export it, you can do both of them. Now let's say I want to define a vector. Well, you can also play with a vector or matrices, because the word Matlab is a short form of matrix laboratory. So it means that हम इसमें मैट्रिक्स के फॉर्म में वैल्यूज़ को लेते हैं, उनको यूज़ करते हैं, उनको इक्वेशंस के अंदर पुट करते हैं. So you can play with vector, which is also a matrix, a column matrix or a row matrix. So for example, if I want to define a vector, let's say a I have already defined, so let me use another variable. Let's say p equals, and that is how you define a vector. 1 space. You can also use comma instead of spacebar. 1 4 7 9. If I put semicolon at the end, so the value will not be displayed as an output like a equals to 4, which is already displayed earlier. Hit enter. So the value is suppressed now. You have a vector b, you have a scalar a. Let me define another vector that is equal to c by using another way, using comma. So let's say 2 9 7. Sorry. And then if you want to see what is b and c, simply type b, hit enter, and c, enter. Now these are the row vectors or the row matrix. If you want to take a transpose of this vector or even a matrix, you can simply type b and a single inverted comma. So the matrix 1 4 7 9, which is a row matrix, will be converted into a column matrix. Simply hit enter. That's how it converted. So if I want to do addition of these two vectors or these two matrices, I can say that d equals b plus c. That's how you get the addition of two vectors. Now if I want to make the multiplication of these two vectors. Let's say G equals B multiplied by C. You will get an error because you are violating the rules of matrix multiplication. Hit enter, you will get an error. Now the rule is that the number of column in the first vector or in the first matrix must be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. So this means that I can't multiply B with C, rather I can multiply B with C column matrix, because when you put a quotation at the end, that matrix is converted into a column. So now I can multiply both these matrices and you will get the scalar quantity, which is 1, 7, 7. Now one more thing that if you want to define, so before going any further, I want to tell about the basic commands. Let's say CLC, that is the abbreviation of clear command window. So hit enter, you will get a clear scheme. The command window is clear now, but still you have a workspace. Right now, how many variables you have defined so far? All these are the variables you have defined currently and are stored in your workspace. Now if I want to clear them all, I simply use CLEAR. Now see your workspace, that is empty now. So currently no variable is defined in your workspace or stored in your memory. Let's say I want to define random numbers. So for that you can either use a normalized random number RANDN or a simple random number RAND. Let's say I want to define a random number. I want to make a single random number from in the range between 0 to 1. Rand. If you want to hit to place 1, or if you don't use any argument, or any value in the parentheses, hit enter, you get the same result. You get a random number. If I want to assign a random number to a variable, I can say A equals rand, enter. So A equals to 0.1270 now. Now what my intentions are that I want to define a vector and all the elements must be random number. So for that, let me type A equals rand, and here you have to put the matrix dimension. I want to say 2 rows and 6 columns. Hit enter, so you get 2 rows and 6 columns, and all of these are random numbers from range 0 to 1. If I want a 3 cross 3 or 4 cross 4 matrix, I can also use B equals 3. This means rand 3. This means that random numbers from range 0 to 1 of order 3 cross 3 is generated and assigned to a matrix P. So now P is a matrix of 3 cross 3 and all are random numbers. Now selection of a column or a row from a random number or a matrix, you can say G equals P. Now P is this whole matrix, right? I want to select only this row, first row, and assign to a variable G. I can type B, comma, first row, and put colon at the end. This means that first entire row is selected and assigned to a variable G. Hit enter, you'll see that the first row of P is assigned to G. Similarly, if you want to select the second column of matrix P and assign to another variable F, you can also type F equals parentheses entire row in second column. Entire row, all the rows of second column are selected now and assigned to F. but first put the variable p. So 0.7922, 0.9595 and 0.6557. That's how you pick a particular row or a column and assign to another variable. So that's all for now. In next video we are going to discuss about the optimization. Thank you.